Each season we like to show you cool new products from MBRP that focus on performance as well as reducing weight on your sled. And this year we're going to show you something for the all-new C-TEC2 800 DSI motor. Coming in many forms, from mountain to crossover and trail, the 800 C-TEC has been well received by Arctic loyalists who are anticipating the new tech motor to hit the ground. While the performance and horsepower numbers of the Slot Skirt 800 are already really impressive, MBRP was able to squeeze just a little bit more and gain huge in weight savings. I love speaking with the folks behind the scenes at MBRP because they always tell me the truth. If a motor is underperforming and they can pull more horsepower from it, they'll tell you exactly what they can get. Big surprise, right? But if a motor is already overperforming and there's really not that much left, they're still going to tell you the truth. And with the 800 C-TEC2, MBRP put in many hours of dyno and flow bench testing to try to pull every little bit they could out of the new motor. In the end, there's two unique designs, each targeted towards a different riding segment. And as always, we encourage you to check your local, province, and state regulations for aftermarket exhaust modifications as well as decibel limits. Up first is the all-new and extensively tested 800 C-TEC2 trail exhaust, or a can as we like to call them. This 304 stainless exhaust is very easy to install and super durable. The trail can increase the horsepower output of your 800 DSI by 1 horse. Not a whole lot, but MBRP found the DSI required increased back pressure to maintain optimal performance and therefore built that into the design of the trail can. All brackets are laser cut and the decibel level meets sound requirements where exhaust modifications are allowed on trails. The biggest news though is the weight savings that this can takes your sled on. Able to drop a whopping 11 pounds of fat, this can alone does what would take thousands of dollars to do with aftermarket titanium or carbon fiber. In the crossover and mountain markets, 11 pounds is just plain huge. Now when we switch gears to the race can, we get an even sleeker setup, a little bit of an increase in decibels, as well as an even further reduction in weight if you can actually believe it. The C-TEC2 race exhaust is recommended for competition use. It's all kinds of wonderful when you squeeze the throttle, and it lets others know exactly where you are. The horsepower numbers stay true at 1 horse increase, but the weight savings, yeah, they go deeper at an extra 2 pounds, which makes for a total of 13 pounds that MBRP was able to ditch in just the exhaust canister. If you're running high altitude, shredding 13 pounds is not just significant, it's incredible. The race can is made with the same 304 stainless material and laser cut brackets, and it mounts up just as easily with only a few minutes required to install. I know the specs and all the techie information is really what makes an exhaust great, but at the end of the day, there's one test that really hits home for most of us motorheads. Seated on the sled, cruising down the lake at wide open throttle or revving the engine through the parking lot at the local weekend hangout is where all that sound is put to good use. Much like the sound of a 90-degree V-twin motorcycle with straight pipes, the sound of a 2-stroke big bore with a quality exhaust system from MBRP is like music to our ears, and always brings out the crowds to see what you've got under the hood. And with the 304 polished stainless, you can be sure when you crack open your side panel, you won't have to worry what you're packing isn't enough to impress. I really appreciate the truthfulness with the numbers from MBRP. While the horsepower is only mildly increased, the weight savings are huge, as is the mental horsepower. And we can do all of this for under $300, both Canadian and American.